the science of creation, right? Lessons into the science of creation. Let's do this, Logesh. Let's go.
Okay, Master. So we have spoken about awakening the creator within to know what it takes for you to actually become a creator. Now, today's topic will be the conscious creator. Because people may want to wake up as a creator, but it's also important for someone to actually be conscious of what's awaiting in front of them in the process of them creating.
Yeah.
So what should someone be conscious about?
No. You see, first of all, we got to find out, is there a demand to be conscious? It's like this: if you're a father, you have to be very conscious, because how you are is going to affect your child, right? If you're a neighbor, you have to be conscious. The issue is we want to escape being conscious. Somehow we are addicted to becoming unconscious. We think unconscious is resting. It's like people take drugs or alcohol. They are not taking it to become conscious, You might take coffee to be conscious. So I'm a great propagator of coffee. But most people take something to be unconscious. So we have this sense, to be conscious is hard. To be unconscious is rest. That is why sleep, people use sleep to be unconscious. By right, sleep is not about being unconscious, It's about resting. So now, the first is we must accept the demand to be conscious, because if we are not conscious, we are affecting our surrounding, including ourselves. Now we are conscious what we eat, what we do. We are conscious. So the debate is when you realize unconsciousness, you may do things that you don't intend to do. So you have to be conscious. But there's an issue in this. We think being unconscious is rest. Like of late, in the name of sensitive subject, modernization, people want to go into sex and lust. At one time, we went into love and togetherness and romance, The whole propagation of sex is you are giving into an impulse, into an unconsciousness. The day you realize when I'm unconscious, I'm going to do things and create things, not in favor of me and another, you learn to be conscious, isn't it? So is there a demand to be conscious in your life? So there is a debate, In most mind, being unconscious is rest. Being conscious is effort. I'm saying choose the effort. We have created a world very unconsciously, There is enough poverty in the world, but we spend so much money creating bombs and missiles. You think we did that consciously? Global warming is asking us to be conscious. So is there a demand in your life to be conscious? I remember at 40, landing up in a hospital, and the doctor eventually found out that I'm pre-diabetic. And thank God for that. Because at 40, when they found out I'm pre-diabetic, I had to be conscious of what I eat. And until today, I avoid being a diabetic. If that was not given to me, if I had gone on the way I did, I would have become a diabetic. So we begin this way, Logesa. Is there a demand to be conscious in your life? If you want a life in freedom, you want a life beyond servitude, you want a life in which you live you out, you must become conscious. And conscious is effort. But somehow we have been doped, we have been persuaded to be unconscious. So this is your dilemma. Like in the world of meditation, in the world of awakening, sleep is the primary enemy, They say the yogi never sleeps. Not that he doesn't rest. The meaning is he will not allow himself to be unconscious. So part of the activity of being a creator is to become conscious with every thought, with every belief, with every energy, with every feel that I allow myself in, I am creating something. If I ask you, what have you been creating, son? What would you say? Are we creating a better world? There's a difference between conscious and consciousness. And the word consciousness is used in many terms, The way I look at it is maybe there is this consciousness, this omnipresent consciousness, leave it alone. I am becoming conscious of the consciousness humanity is carrying. And right now, the consciousness of humanity is created by unconscious reaction. And the consciousness of humanity seemed to be dedicated in the pursuit of becoming unconscious. Is to act mindlessly. The pursuit of freedom, is it a pursuit of me consciously waking up to create a world I want? Or is freedom a ticket to be unconscious, to act animalistically, to just go with every impulse? So maybe the question, Logesh, is there a demand to be conscious? Let me go this way. You must answer yes, there is a demand to be conscious. Because if I'm not conscious, I will not participate in my success. I might create failure because in failure, I can drop everything. Do you know success is easy when your commitment to be conscious is total? Why people create failure? Because they opt up to be unconscious. Something Osho said, one of the most beautiful quotes. The only sin of humanity is the sin of unconsciousness. That we are doing things without knowing what we are doing. If I ask you, I'm not sure whether you can answer this question. Are you supporting your success or are you sabotaging it? If you are someone who celebrates being unconscious is rest, I guarantee you will sabotage your success. So the battle is between unconsciousness and becoming conscious. This is what Freud, Jung, all of them contributed. The anchor of unconsciousness is rest, which is false. It's almost if I just give in to my biological impulse, I will rest. Now, why should you wake up as a creator? Because it demands you to be conscious. Then suddenly you see, as you are effecting things in your life. And you want to wake up as an effector. So this discussion is for anyone. And in the last episode, we touched it beautifully. You did a good job, Logita. For anyone, the demand to be conscious is here now. That I cannot afford to be unconscious. That I want to participate in the unfoldment of me. I want to create a better future for me. I want to create a state in which I'm freed. But right now, in the name of success, the only thing they sell you is make a lot of money, now you can be unconscious. Like simple issue like, why do we want somebody to love us? Because once they love us, you don't have to pay attention to them. If somebody assure they love you, Now you can ignore them. And sometimes we think that's what being in love means. If not, if somebody loves you, everything you do and say has a consequence. If somebody loves you, you have to be conscious. You cannot a moment be unconscious. So why should you wake up to be a creator? Why should you learn this? Because the demand to be conscious is at hand, Logesh.
It's actually very relatable to me, Master, because the reason I asked this question also, when I enrolled into the creation program, I felt that a large part of it, well, most of the lessons that you were teaching, the techniques and all that, was awakening my consciousness to everything.
Very good.
And then I realized I was trying to create in the past, but probably half of me was unconscious about certain thing, and it failed my creation.
Very good. Excellent. And when it failed your creation, it's revealing to you what you are unconscious about. Now you can become conscious. So it's not a failure. You see, the goal is what now? You live any life you want, but you're doing it deliberately, consciously. You become the shaper of your life. We want to go beyond the understanding of predetermined karma. We have used that word to remain unconscious, We didn't use that word to wake up, to be conscious. Like if you believe in karma, you become very conscious. Because whatever I do, there is consequence. But many use the word to be unconscious. So you didn't fail. That failure is needed. So now you are conscious. And if you go in the path of being conscious, there cannot be failure. Everything is waking you up and waking you up. When the critical awakening happens, you will never fail. I am saying, as an entity, you are designed only to succeed. You are designed to create. You are designed to consciously live this life. But in order to get there, I must pass through my unconsciousness. And sometime you need to fail for that hidden unconsciousness to be revealed. Because when it's unconscious, you don't even know you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't even know that you didn't know. So the way we approach it, many of you say you fail. I said, no, you didn't fail. You needed to go through that to be conscious. Unless you reject being conscious, then you fail. Then that which happened has no blessing. Okay? It's like if I take painting for an instance and we put one line. If I'm going to paint here, I put one line, then I put a second line, I put the third line. By the time I put the third line, I know how the first line is wrong. Eventually, every line I'm putting is correcting every other line. And then I become conscious of exactly your form. Then I get your contour. So in some sense, there is no failure if you use everything to become conscious. You follow? But for some, the demand to be conscious, they say it's failure because it disturbs their rest. I think we have been made addicted to becoming unconscious and we are accidentally celebrating it. Because being conscious is hard.
Yep.
When you're addicted to being unconscious. Sometimes I ask people, do you become awake to go to sleep? Or do you go to sleep to become awake? Maybe we focus on this today. Has the time come for you to be conscious? Are things telling, like when they check my blood and they say, hey, your blood sugar is up. It's time to be conscious now. Until then, I didn't care what I put into my mouth. The time has come to be conscious. So we go this way, What is it right now demanding you to be conscious? If you take Anba, he's now the CEO of the company. He has to be conscious of many things now,
Mm.
of the staff, of the people, the moral of the office, everything.
Mm.
The time has come. Like when the mother or the father has a baby, oh, everything changes, right? So right now, ask yourself, where have I arrived? And what is that I need to be conscious of? Moving in the direction of being conscious, you're becoming a creator. Right? So it's waking my consciousness up is one of the steps of becoming a creator. Now I'm conscious.
Mm.
When I'm conscious, I know my result. When I'm conscious of driving, I know what I do and what is the effect, right?
Yeah.
And I manage the effect. I drive. What in your area of life the time has come to be conscious? If you study the science of creation, this is where we go. You don't have to be conscious of everything now.
Mm.
What is it right now? Life is demanding you to be conscious. Which means in what area of your life you have to wake up as a creator.
Mm.
And if you live rightly, from time to time, life shifts you. There is one time you'll wake up to be so conscious, you're conscious of everything you're creating. You wake up, but you begin one step at a time. What is the area your life is demanding you to be conscious? And one of the consciousness is you start exploring as how I am, my result is. Then you slowly take mastery over that. Then you are growing, isn't it? You see, life is a series of awakening, We are born as a child, we go through our process as a teenager, at every point there is a demand. All I'm saying is when you know the science of creation, as the demand comes, you can meet it. There is a demand. Let's take for you a look, yes, sir. I think the time for you to come into action is here now. I think the time for you to show up is happening, isn't it? Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Life is demanding you to show up. Now I must become conscious. I think the time for you to show up is now. You cannot be ahead, you cannot be behind. Life is a natural unfoldment. No? You just follow life one step at a time. Provided you are not someone that is avoiding being conscious. But for this, our resistance in becoming conscious must be addressed. We must admit we are probably made addicted to being unconscious. And somehow we have been made to believe being unconscious is rest.
Master,
Mm.
talking about consciousness, right? Being conscious is to accept the reality that this is supposed to be done in order to create that.
Yeah,
And that sometimes can be painful. Is
Yeah.
that why people chose to remain unconscious?
you're right. You're absolutely perfect observation. People take refuge in being unconscious. But you can't force this too. I always ask this question, what's showing up? What is now? What does being now means? What is this moment? What is ripe now? That's the unfoldment of living. At every point, there is a demand to be conscious. If you don't escape it, the next point happens. So could I say the process of living is nothing but process of meeting the demand to become conscious? So now I go on. What is the science of creation? It is participating with what is unfolding now and what is that I need to become conscious and wake up to. And when I become conscious, I have mastery over. Then I can participate in the unfoldment of life. Right now, most people are not participating in the unfoldment of life. They resist. Like we were talking just now. The time has come for you guys to become wealthy. The time, because without that wealth, you won't have the freedom. If you don't have the freedom, you cannot do what you are here to do. So, do we agree to participate in becoming conscious? Because when you are conscious, I can participate. Like driving, you learn, you become conscious how to drive. Once you're conscious how to drive, you can go places, right? Or am I escaping that demand? I think tragedy is when the demand to be conscious was present, you avoided it, and you didn't wake up to what you need to wake up to be, and life catches up with you. You see, the subject is very heavy, you know. And that is the battle between becoming unconscious and conscious. And I'm saying, you don't force this, you participate in what is unfolding. You don't stay behind, you don't have to go forward. Moment to moment, you live that moment and the demand, and just following that, you become awake.
So, Master, we were talking about conscious and unconscious earlier, right? So, to become a creator, can I say that someone has to become conscious of what they could be unconscious of?
Yeah. I think that's process of growing. It's about process of waking up. And what has to be admitted is, as we have been discussing, there is this counter pull. I want to become conscious, we are becoming unconscious. If you look at humanity, from the medieval times or whatever time, from the cave time to now, we have grown in becoming conscious. The more conscious, it appears to me, the more conscious I become, more life is up to me. When I'm unconscious, life seems to be accidental. I think when we accept that base, growing up is about becoming awake. And the moment I become completely conscious, then the terminology they use is I become part of consciousness itself. So you're absolutely right. Now the question at hand is, am I resisting it or going with it? And the way I'm looking at it is, what as the time come, what is it right now you're ready to be conscious? In another way, Logesh, what is it the time now for you to become a creator? You see, at one time, this earth, the way I look at it, it happened, the earth is there. And as a species, we evolve. It appears to me now the earth is up to us, The very earth that gave birth to us probably is going to depend on us to keep it going, isn't it? It appears that way. Is that part of evolution? So is becoming conscious an evolutionary truth? So maybe for the audience, and this is what you got to ask, what is it the time has come for you to become conscious? And becoming conscious simply means it's up to me now. And realizing it is up to me, is that what it means to be a creator? So in some sense, is the entire evolution of human is one day to wake up to be a creator? If let's say you're saying, I'm not yet a creator, probably that's the natural state. It's a child state. Maybe the time has come. So maybe for the audience is, what is it right now that is a demand that you have to wake up to be a creator? You cannot leave it to chance. You got to participate. However human evolution happened, by chance, by coincidence, by faith, whatever, it appears like the next step has to be conscious, isn't it? So could it be to wake up to be a creator is the natural evolution? Now the question is, are you ready to embrace it? Or the false rest, being unconscious, has taken over us? That's why, as I said, I think the last episode we talked about, I said it's nothing outside of you. It is not something strange. We are not doing something strange. We are just participating in the natural evolutionary process. Just that there's a battle between being conscious and being unconscious. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I think everybody can participate, whatever the triggers.
So, I also want to ask, Master, because we don't want people to hallucinate, like in the process of creation. Maybe even for me and many others, when we try to create something, although we tell ourselves, I am conscious of what I'm trying to create, deep inside my mind, I chose not to see what could fail. But I tell myself I'm conscious and want to create. And then when we meet the failure, we actually just probably didn't manage to create things. Because a large part of what I have learned through the creation program is to suddenly be conscious of everything and be ready for it. Yeah, you always tell us, be ready for it, fight for it, anything can happen. You always remind us, it could fail, go, just do it, So I'm right now conscious about everything and I'm prepared even if it fails, what should I do next?
That's the most beautiful thing you have said. So there is no failure. There is just living to become conscious. The notion of failure, the notion of success is just a false notion of success. As though I've arrived, everything is amazing. No, life is an evolutionary process. And we must embrace what you call as failure is what has to happen for me to become conscious. I think because in us there is a demand to fall asleep. That is why we want to quickly become successful and forget about everything. We don't understand it is an ever-living state. It's like you might think, I'll go make $100 million, then I can just sleep. I think there is no failure. There is just lesson to be learned, new height to be achieved. And you rather it be a failure now than a calamity later. So I think we must not look at it as a failure. And the next thing you talked about, hallucination. Creation is only judged by the result. If you follow the result, and more so someone like you, who has studied actuarial science, what is actually unfolding? You see, I grew up in a beautiful fishing village. Many things happened. People became rich or something. But then I said, did they really become rich? They destroyed the beach or they destroyed the rainforest. Sometimes a country say there's progress. Actually, when you study, did they progress or did they destroy the landscape? Let's say somebody made $1 billion. But when you see the beach they ruined, it's going to take $1 trillion to repair. Did you make $1 billion? Half our coral reef has been destroyed. Do you think the world's progressed? Did you? Creation is actually something brought enrichment. Actually. So has the human species moved forward? In the last 200-300 years, in the name of progress, we are now in the brink of possibility of a climate catastrophe. Did we succeed? Did we create? But maybe we had to fail to know, okay, maybe that's not where to go. Maybe fossil fuel is not the answer. Maybe our economy has to be readdressed again. Maybe we must change and find new ways. If not, what happened is a waste. It's a calamity. That is why creation is a participation in the evolution. And now the evolution appears to be in our hands. If we don't become conscious, we don't learn from what has happened. And there are leaders who are saying climate change is a hoax. I'm sure they are saying that to feed to the people who don't want to be conscious, who still want to produce plastic and throw it onto the ground, who want to destroy our topsoil, who want to give us garbage in the name of food. Compared to my father's time, there is more we have to be conscious now, Racism was an accepted thing before. Now we know it's a calamity. So I want you and me to celebrate the demand that is presented now for us to be conscious. Do not escape it, use it, and wake up and do what we need to do. That is being responsible. That is when we act as a friend to mankind. But we are still addicted to rest that comes out of being unconscious, isn't it? You see, for thousands of years, we oppress a gender. The opposite sex, the female, we oppressed. Now we have to be conscious. But do you know what's the beauty of conscious? We get them. We get to celebrate women. Do you get what I'm saying? One time it was a masculine world. Now it's becoming a bit more feminine. It's far more beautiful. We are enriched by it. But are there people who want to go back to medieval time? There are. So what is becoming conscious, Logesh? Coming alive. I'm saying, right, that's why I say it's a pivot point. It is a time for you and me to participate, to get alive, to get involved, to build, to shape. And I don't believe in a single leader that changes the world. Every one of us have a contribution, and I do not want to miss a chance for a very selfish reason, because in participating in that living, I live. Even though becoming conscious looks like an effort, but without that, what are you going to do? Sleepwalk? So I'm saying, bring it on. I accept the failure of what we did with the climate change. Without fossil fuel, we wouldn't have got this far. But we know fossil fuel is not going to take us all the way. Now, there's a challenge for me to create something, right? And in creating something alternative is where I live. I celebrate my life. I get to fulfill me. So the invitation to be a creator is an invitation to live, son.
Mm.
But again, it goes back to this, Are you celebrating falling asleep? Or are you celebrating coming alive? Statistics shows, it's a kind of a statistic. They say 7% of human population will tilt. It's the pivot point. Here, what we are attempting to do, Tim, we're trying to bring those people together, support, groom, invest, celebrate, be their cheerleader, create the network. We don't want to support the people who want to be successful so they can fall asleep.
Mm.
I hope America is not being groomed to only celebrate itself by being unconscious of the rest of the world. I hope America, as it promised to be, becomes the beacon of life for humanity. I hope. That's the promise, isn't it? From civil liberty to everything, they spearheaded it. Their contribution is enormous, but right now it looks like, I'm saying, come on. I think for the longest time, Aloges, in order to make us just labor, in order to exploit us, I think there are forces wants to keep you unconscious.
Mm.
We were raised just to get by. At one time, women being beautiful and quiet was ultimate goal, sir. That was the solution they gave. But they threw that away. They said, I'll go into the marketplace. Women are equal, if not more than men. And suddenly human population is another source, which was missing for a long time. We should celebrate that.
Mm.
But are there people who want to go opposite? Like jokingly, I'll tell people, I didn't raise my child to go out there and be a laborer or a slave to somebody. And the bribery, here you can sleep, here you have to endure the effort to become awake. Like what we are doing here, Logesh, and some of you are going to lead it. It's just a conscious movement of bringing people together who want to be part of humanity, want to build a better humanity. We don't want to leave it to politicians and to the billionaires alone. We want to be a co-creator of it. The real superpower of humanity is humanity, not one nation. We going to start determining what we want life to be. If not, there are forces that is determining us. I wonder whether we go to the university to be intelligent or to be skillful laborers. But you may ask the question, how do I enter this? Right now, where you are, what is your demand? You see, from television to entertainment to our addiction to phone, it all seemed to support us becoming unconscious.
Yep.
We are slowly losing the interaction with one another. We are slowly not becoming conscious of each other. And I think we are moving in a very dangerous point.
Yeah.
The notion of the pivot point, the one Tim beautifully named it, is at that point in which your life can transform. Right now, what is that point for you? What is it that time has come that I need to wake up and be the creator of it? And I think as each and every one of us bow to our demand, life will bloom by itself. That's the hope. I think it's very exciting time. I think we live in a very beautiful time right now. We cannot make a mess now. We are no more fighting with clubs and stone, We have a nuclear weapon. Now one nation cannot act carelessly because we know it affects every other nation. I think part of the teaching of being a creator or being conscious is for every human being to become responsible to how, as you are, it is affecting the outcome. And it's time to be accountable. It is no more simply a pursuit of wealth so I can go be unconscious. I can go fall asleep. So you may ask, how do we begin? What is your demand now? Where are you at? What is life making you see? In what area you need to wake up to be a creator? In what area you have to intervene? And what is life calling you to be part of? You get what I'm saying? So there is no failure, just somebody knocking on your door.
Yeah.
They cannot be failures, sir. It's just giving you the recipe for success. And if you can embrace that, it's good. But failure feels like failure because I think when I succeed, after this, I can become unconscious. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really think we live in a very exciting time. I think when I was young, there was not that much demand to be conscious as how it is now. We are more global. We are more. Now it's no more isolated, We are one species. Everything is affecting everything. Maybe in a bigger picture, Logesh, I'm asking, is the time now for you to participate in affecting the outcome of global events, playing your part? Are you willing to realize the bigger impact of you for humanity? And as you pursue your success, as you live out your creation, as the principle of friend to mankind, be accountable how it affects another. Then we become a conscious human being. You have to do this. Not doing it, you're committing a sin. I feel, and this way, just to give it a nice wrap up, the time for this learning, not teaching, it's a learning. It's always been there. The time for this learning is now. The time to wake up to be a conscious creator, to be part of humanity, to live an incredible life is now. And for those who bow to the demand, bless you. You have the privilege of shaping the world to be. I don't think it's going to happen accidentally. No, I'm believing in some supernatural force is going to make it happen. I think it's going to be up to you and me. I think they told us enough stories for us to fall asleep. Maybe we should disregard the story and kind of know our truth. Why? only then I get to actualize me totally. Like, why do I love you? In loving you, I get to wake up to realize I am loved too. So loving you, I'm not doing you a favor, Finding someone to love, you are doing me a favor because I get to wake up to realize I am that love too. So I think participating in creation is also to wake up to know I'm part of the creator if you're a bit religious.
Mm.
I don't know whether you can claim you are the creator, but to realize I am part of creation. But you begin on a personal level. Where you at? What is the demand? You start with you. What is that you need to create a better future for yourself and all that who you are with? And our effort, Logesh, we're just going to go find people who say yes to this and create a global network under Friends to Mankind. Support, be their friend, be their ally, and together participate in how things can be, how the world can be. Like if you walk by and you see somebody poor, and in your heart you feel, now something is happening. Now, directly or indirectly, you're going to participate in the eradication of it. I'll tell a story, and look, it's how Friends to Mankind. I was in India. I was in particularly this fortress or this old king, and it's part of my ancestry. My mother was telling me, oh, this is many generations ago. I said, really? I was kind of like, wow. Looks like. Now I know why I have such a bad temper. And suddenly when I'm leaving, I saw a mother. I even have that picture, the mother and his two daughters and a son, small. And she was asking for money. And of course, I stepped up and they said, we haven't eaten for a while. And the child was, so I don't know, something I had to give the child to eat. I gave some money. And I sat there for a long time after being very proud of the whole thing. I said, what is my answer to this? That moment, I gave them what I had. But what is my answer? I came back and almost for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I fasted. I ate one meal. This, for whatever reason. And I said, what is my answer to this? Friends to Mankind was born, It was this beautiful Dato Ibrahim, right? The Malay gentleman. I was giving a talk and then he came and said, do you know what you're talking is about? Being friend to humanity, friend to mankind. I said, what? He sparked the word. He said the word. And I said, that shall be the organization I create. Directly or indirectly, I'm answering that child. I haven't seen the child. That was the last time I met. I did what I could. I left. But directly or indirectly, what we do, I hope it helps another child not to be in that state. What is my response? And the scenario is very beautiful. I'm being very proud of my ancestry or whatever. Oh my God, this is all good. And I'm like, what is your response to what you see that is not right in the world? Giving a few dollars and forgetting about it is not the answer, sir. What is my response that I'm working directly or indirectly in the eradication of it? 60 to 70% of people who run my organization are women in leadership positions. That's my response. Some of the people I trust the most are them. That's my response. What is your response? That is why this is where the science of creation must sit under the Friends to Mankind. Because it must be the knowledge owned by people who want to live a life, who want to participate in living a life that also heals the world and themselves simultaneously. I'm not talking about you giving you up. I'm telling, please don't give you up. Live you. In living you, you meet this entire thing. I'm saying, let's come together and celebrate becoming conscious. In that, very consciously, I hope we play a role. And it's a non-superstar system. Everybody plays a role. Not one person saves all. Those days are over. So I live with this. This is something to think about. What is it? The time has come. What is the next step? I like a chief that I met in Vancouver, in Canada. It's a native Indian. He will say, "What is the next best step? What is the next step?" I love the way they say, "What is the next step?" I love it. Not so far. What is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step of your evolution? Is it going to be easy? Not really, because we are addicted to falling asleep. We think distraction is rest. Unconsciousness is ecstasy. Maybe part of the human evolution is we need to cure ourselves from that now. Maybe I finish it this way, Look forward to meeting Logesh and Tim and Nora and the whole gang. We're going to set this up and we could use all the help we can get. It has taken me 30 over years, almost 40 years to birth the knowledge. It's a knowledge that when you expose yourself, it will be a catalyst in you birthing as a creator. Come and be a part. The whole idea is to celebrate right success. And I believe through that, we will play a role in how things can be. And that is the effort. Okay? Good? Okay.